So, good day everyone. So, here we are again to talk about another kind of differential equation which is named exact differential equations. So, exact kasi meron tayong gagamiting parameters or an equation para masabi natin siyang exact. So, we will tackle that about later but to have overview sa exact differential equation, kailangan natin ng certain principle and partial differentiation. So, and partial integration. So, babalik tayo sa Math 34 and Math 35 nyo. And then, this will be the third kind of differential equation na itatackle natin. So, pupunta tayo sa form niya. So, differential equation of the form m xy dx plus n xy dy is equal to 0 such that x and y are functions of x and y. M and n pala, functions of x and y. And it is said to be exact if and only if the partial derivative of m in terms of y will be equal to the partial derivative of n in terms of x, provided that m and n, and then partial derivative of m and in terms of y, and partial derivative of n in terms of x are continuous function of x and y. So, paano nga ba tayo magpa-partial differentiation? So, let's have an example. So, maglalagay ako ng example dito. So, let's say, ang m natin is equal to 2x cubed y squared. Tama? So, since ganyan yung ano niya, so, kailangan natin ng dm over dy. Tama? So, dm over dy. So, when you are differentiating, partial differentiating, kung ano yung nasa babang variable, doon ka lang magdi-differentiate. Other variable will be, for this case, pag i-differentiate mo siya in terms of y, yung other variable mo, sample x, will be constant. So, meaning, pag nag-differentiate ka, differentiate mo yung m in terms of y, magiging 2x cube. So, etong 2x cube na to, yun yung constant. And then, multiplied by yung derivative ni y squared. Okay? So, tatandaan, etong 2x cube, constant, dito ka lang magde-derivative. Kasi, yun nga, pa-partial derivative ka lang in terms of y. And pag may partial derivative in terms of y, constant si x. So, ang derivative ng y squared will be 2y. 2y. Or, this will be equal to 2 times 2, which is 4x cubed y. So, that will be the partial derivative of m in terms of y. Now, how about kung ang n natin, so copy lang natin to. What if? So, assume natin, ganun din yung value ng n natin. Now, kailangan natin ng partial derivative ni n in terms of x. So, magiging constant, syempre 2. Constant si 2. And then, yun nga, pagde-derivative tayo in terms of x. partial derivative in terms of x, meaning si y squared, yung y, variable y, or in this case, y squared is a constant. Now, ang kailangan lang nating derivative is yung sa x cube. At ang derivative ng x cube ay 3x squared. Tama. So, or the partial derivative of n in terms of x will be 6x squared y squared. So, ganun yan. Now, with the knowledge, pag equal to, for example, ito, pag equal tong dalawang to, yung kakalabasan, masasabi mo siyang exact. But in this case, pinakita ko lang naman kung paano mag partial derivative. So, ganun lang mag partial derivative. In this case, hindi sila exact kasi hindi equal to. Pero ang topic naman natin is exact. So, there will be problems na maging exact. So, with the knowledge of the condition, so, yung step 1 is, ito yung tinatawag nating test of exactness. Itong formulang to, ito yung tinatawag nating test of exactness. It is the first step in solving an exact differential equation. Kasi kailangan mong i-prove muna na yung equation mo or yung DE mo is really an exact before you can go to the next step. But kapag hindi mo na prove na exact siya, so pwedeng non-exact siya, which will be the topic after this. Pero in this part, exact muna ang pagdi-discuss natin. Okay, so kapag na-prove mo na with the knowledge of the condition for the exactness, the remaining problem is the determination of the solution. So pag na-prove mo, i-determine mo lang yung solution niya, represented by the function f x y is equal to c. Here, the function is obtained from either of the two equations. So, meron kang dalawang equation. Dito naman is f is equal to the integral of m, the quantity xy dx, plus fy. So, as you can see, ang dx natin dito is magpa-partial integration tayo. The rule in partial integrating is ganito lang. So, kunin ulit natin to. So, assume natin na ang m natin, yun. So, this will be our m. Assume lang ta. So, papakita ko lang kung paano mag partial integration. Baka kasi nakalimutan nyo na. And then, lagay dyan. So, ito kukopyan nyo lang. So, ito si m. Tama. Now, so, gagawin lang natin is magpa-partial integrate. Mamaya natin pag-uusapan si f of y kapag nasa example na tayo. So, in integrating, di ba nilalabas natin yung constant? Now, we will integrate, tignan nyo kung ano niya, in terms of x. Tama? Mag-integrate tayo na in terms of x. Meaning, lahat ng hindi x, constant siya. So, pwede natin ilabas si 2. Tama? So, 2, pwedeng lumabas si 2 dyan, tsaka si y squared. So, y will be constant. So, mawawala yung dalawa sa loob. So, ulitin ko, pag mag-integrate ka, partial integration, in terms of x, y will be constant. So, kaya 2y squared is a constant. Ito lang integrate mo. Which is equal to So, copy natin si 2y squared. Ah, 2y squared multiplied by the integral of x cubed will be x to the 4th over 4. Tama? Or equal to y squared, x to the 4th over 2. Kasi 2 over 4 is 1/2. So, yan yung integral ng given m. Okay? Now, another equation na gagamit actually is f is equal to, syempre, m kanina, n naman ngayon. I-integrate mo naman siya, partial integration in terms of y. Kung si m, dx, partial integration in terms of x, si n, partial integration in terms of y. So, halos parang ganun din. So, ulitin ko, pag derivative, so first step will be test of exactness. Then, pag na-prove natin na si m, pag dinerivative mo in terms of y, equal, pag derivative si m in terms of y. Okay? Pag derivative si n in terms of x. Now, pag na-prove mo yon na equal sila, mag-integrate tayo. Now, magpapalit naman. Si m, integrate mo in terms of x. Si n, integrate mo in terms of y. And then, you compare them both. Tapos, i-equate natin siya sa c. So, here are examples na para... Okay, may remarks pa pala. The first of these two equations are integrated partially relative to x, holding y constant. Yun nga, magpa-partial integrated partially relative to x, holding y constant, while the second is integrated mo partially relative to y, holding x constant. So, si x constant naman dito. The constant of partial integration fy and gx are found by comparison of these two possible solutions. So, compare mo lang, and then combine mo lahat, mag-equate mo lang sa c. So, to get an example, para mas maliwanagan kayo, we'll have an example test for exactness and find the general solution of the quantity excuse me, cosine 2y minus 3x squared y squared quantity, lahat nun, dx, plus the quantity cosine 2y minus 2x sine 2y minus 2y cubed y quantity dy minus 0, or this should be equal to 0. Okay? So, first is, inutin na. Lakin na lang natin para mas visible yung problem. Okay. So, ito, kunin natin si M. So, alalahanin nyo, ang partner ni dx dito, M. Ang partner ni dy, N. Okay? So, una, kunin natin si M and then, pa-partial derivative natin in terms of y. Pag okay. So, first term, paano pa-partial derivative yan? So, since this is actually a variable which contains y, or yung term mo, y lang, so, normally, de-derivative mo lang yan. Tama? So, the derivative of cosine 2y will be, derivative ng cosine is negative sign, kaya negative, and then, merong coefficient si y na 2, so lalabas siya, negative 2, sine 2y ang derivative ni cosine 2y. So, kung hindi nyo alam kung paano dinerivative yan, pwedeng bumalik kayo sa Math 34. Char. Pero dapat alam niyo yan. And then, for the second term, negative 3x squared y squared, derivative lang natin in terms of y. So, meaning, etong si negative 3x squared, constant na siya. Ito. Negative 3x squared is constant. Kasi magde-derivative tayo in terms of y. So, ito lang the derivative mo, si 2y, ay y squared. So, ang derivative niya is 2y. Tama? So, 2y times 3x squared will be negative 6x squared y. So, ang dm over dy natin is negative 2 sine 2y minus 6x squared y. Napunta naman tayo kay n. So, ulitin ko ang n, partner ni dy. Ito yun. So, kinopya ko lang yan papunta dito. Okay, para makita nyo yung problem. So, n will be cosine 2y minus 2x sine 2y minus 2x cubed y. Quantity dy. So, derivative natin in terms of dx. Si cosine 2y, since magde-derivative tayo in terms of x, and alam natin na ang variable na may y magiging constant. So, pag dinerivative mo in terms of x, si cosine 2y, partial derivative in terms of x, ang derivative ng cosine 2y will be 0. Kasi, derivative of a constant is 0. So, ito, 0 to. 0 yung derivative ng first term. Punta tayo sa second term. Sa second term, magde-derivative tayo ng negative 2x sine 2y in terms of dx. So, pinakamaganda kasi, alamin mo kung ano yung constant. Ang constant, ito yung mga constant. Siyempre, negative 2 will be excuse me, negative 2 constant na kagad yan. Tama? And then, sine 2y constant na din yan. Okay, so yun nga, ang constant will be negative 2 and sine 2y. Tama? Yun yung constant. So, pwede mong ilabas yan. And then, ang derivative lang natin in terms of x. The derivative lang natin si x. In terms of x will be 1. Kaya, ang derivative nito, derivative ng negative 2x sine 2y will be negative 2 sine 2y. And then, sa third term, 2x, negative. Sasama natin, huwag niyong kakalimutan si negative sign. Then, negative 2x cubed y. So, ang constant natin dyan is si negative 2. Tama, constant na kaagad dyan. And then, y, constant na kasi. Magde-derivative tayo in terms of x. So, matitira is x cubed. Ang derivative ng x cubed is 3x squared. Multiplied by 2y will be negative 6x squared y. Okay, now, kukompare natin si dm, partial derivative of m in terms of y, kay partial derivative of n in terms of x, pag pareha sila, which is, in this case, parehas, the equation is exact. So, ganun lang kasimple. Basta alam nyo mag-partial derivative, maproprove nyo na exact yung equation. And then, after proving it, or the test of exactness na sinasabi nila, gagamitin lang natin yung dalawang formula. Or, itong formula to, ito, tsaka yung f is equal to n times x. Ito. So, unahin natin si f is equal to the integral of m xy dx plus fy. So, substitute lang natin si m dito. So, yun. cosine 2y minus 3x squared y squared. Tama. Dx plus f of y. Okay? So, integrate natin. Pag nag-integral ka, in terms of x, itong cosine 2y is automatically be a constant. So, pag in-integral mo yan, so, lagyan natin ng other, Pag in-integral mo yan, so, integral will be, so, lalabas si cosine 2y. Okay. 2y. So, matitira dito is si dx. So, this is just for the first term, okay? Tama. And then, minus, anong mga constant for the second term? Mag-integral tayo in terms of dx. Negative 3 will be constant, tama. So, okay. Ito, constant din to. Y squared is constant. So, yun yung mga lalabas. Negative 3 y squared. And then, the integral of x squared dx. Itong maarteng d. So, yan yung nilabas natin mga constant, sineparate natin. First term and second term. So, tuloy tayo. Cosine 2y multiplied by the integral of dx. Integral ng dx is x. Yun yun. Kaya naging x cosine 2y yung first term. Minus 3y squared times the integral of x squared. Ang integral ni x squared ay x cubed over 3. So, magka-cancel out si 3 kaya magiging x cubed y squared lang to. Plus f of y. Okay? So, yun yung first equation. Okay. Na gagamitin naman natin yung other formula. F is equal to the integral of n xy dy plus g of x. Sa f of y, papakita ko kung paano makuha mamaya. So, sa substitute lang natin siya. So, ang n natin from the ito, si n, tama. So, copyin mo lang, n is the integral of cosine 2y minus 2x sine 2y minus 2x cubed y, quantity lahat nun, dy plus g of x. So, mag-integrate tayo in terms of y. So, i-highlight ko lahat ng constant. First term, cosine 2y yan, mag-integrate ka ng dy. So, hindi siya constant, integrate mo talaga yan. Second term, negative 2x is a constant. Kasi, negative 2 automatically be. And then, x is, syempre, assume x is constant kasi integral in terms of y. And then, sine 2y, yun yung i-integrate mo. And then, third term, 2x cubed will be our constant. Kasi, negative to automatically be constant siya. X cubed, yun nga, variable x siya. And then, y, integrate mo lang. Plus g of x. And then, pag in-integrate mo na, the integral of cosine will be sine. Tama? Kaya naging sine dito. Now, pag nag-i-integrate ka at may coefficient yung nasa loob, for this case, 2y. So, may coefficient siyang 2. So, 1 over 2. 1 half. Sine 2y Yun yung integral ni first term. Second term, ganun din, mag-integrate ka ng sine. Integral ni sine is cosine. Negative cosine. So, kaya naging, yung negative sign na to, naging positive. So, may 1/2 din siya. Kaya nawala si 2. So, ang integral ni negative 2x sine 2y will be x cosine 2y. Minus, so, copyahin si 2x cubed. Integral ni y will be y squared over 2. Kaya nawala si 2. Wala na siyang 2 dito. So, naging x cubed y squared lang to. Plus g of x. And then, compare natin to and ito. So, by comparison of 1 and 2, so ito, underline ko na lang yung pagko-compare natin. By comparison, it shows that f of y daw ay 1/2 sine 2y and g of x is 0. Okay. Ganito lang yan. So, compare mo yung dalawa, at pagpadaan daw kailangan. So, buot merong x cosine 2y. Tama. Meron ding x cosine 2y dito. And then, meron din silang pares na x cubed y squared. So, x cubed y squared din dito. Tama. So, yun lang yung pagpares na. Now, itong plus f, a function of y, is kukunin mo dun sa other function. Dun sa other equation. So, a function na purely y ang meaning ito. Which is, in this instance, ang f of y mo, dito, kukunin mo dito, is 1/2 sine 2y. Kasi ito, purely y siya. So, f of y nga. Kaya, alam natin na ang f of y natin is 1/2 sine 2y. And now, g of x, kukunin mo from dito yung g of x, kukunin mo naman dun sa kabilang equation, yung a function na purely x. So, for this instance, wala kang function na purely x dito. So, meaning, ang g of x natin ay 0. Okay? So, pag nakuha mo na yan, the solution will be, so, ang solution, pagkuha ng solution, kunin mo yung pagpadaan da, x cosine 2y minus x cubed y squared. And then, kunin mo si f of y and g of x. So, for this instance, f of y natin is 1/2 sine 2y plus g of x, 0. So, plus 0. And then, equate mo lang siya sa c. And dahil doon, yun na yung final answer mo.